All right, guys. Happy Monday. We have 2 Mondays left of July. So I'm so freaking excited for tonight's call. We have a amazing guest speaker who I'm going to introduce in just a second. But I want to just remind you all, I don't have slides or anything like that, big official announcements, but we have Super Weekend this weekend. So for those of you who are newer and may not know what that is, Super Weekend, or what it used to be called Super Saturday, is a quarterly event. It's like our quarterly local event for all of Beachbody. So no matter where you are in the U.S., there is guaranteed to be an event near you in some degree or fashion. So I know that this was my first live event that I ever went to, and it really was like the game changer. If you guys have been a coach or on the team for longer than a minute, you know, like I talk about this all the time. My first event I went to by myself. It was a Super Saturday in January, and it was like the first time like my eyes really opened to like what this opportunity really was. And you know, it was the first time I really stepped out of my comfort zone. I was all by myself, and I met these other women in my community that were coaches and heard their stories, and we did a live workout, and it was so much fun. And it was like, oh my God, I can do this. Okay. I pushed myself outside that comfort zone. I exposed myself to the community. And like, then it was like, all right, game on. I came home, made a vision board, and like, that was my last year. From, you know, I made that vision board, and on that vision board was to go per diem, to pay off debt, all the things. And a lot of those things I made happen. But I'm telling you this because we have a huge, especially if you're in the Rochester area, we have a growing group of women in this area that I know are going to be going to the Rochester Super Weekend. So it's $10. Most of the time it's like $5 to $15 to go or something like that. Some of them are huge and epic. Like I know the one in Pittsburgh where a lot of our, you know, dream team is. They're going to have like some super trainer. I forget who it is. Allie, I know, like has Jericho coming to you in Oregon, I think.
The new guy.
Oh, the new guy. What's his name? He's so dreamy.
I don't know, but I'm about to get my ass kicked. I know.
Oh, God. I am so excited for him. Seriously.
I bought the VIP ticket so I could get a picture with him.
Oh, yeah. Worth it. It's worth it. So, long story short, we made a whole trip about a lot of the Super Saturdays the last year. So, if you have any questions, if you want to go, don't let your fear get in the way. Reach out to me, you know, message me something, figure out a way, we'll all meet up and we'll go, or find a friend, message them, be like, hey, let's go find one. Let's do it together. Okay. So that's my spiel about that. So I'm going to quickly introduce our guest speaker, and let me show my screen. And I'm so excited. Okay. So Megan, she is Megan Giese. She is a 6-star diamond. She is, if you guys are on the Dream Team page, or if you're in the diamond page for the Dream Team, you have seen Megan's name. Okay. She is a freaking rock star. She consistently is like been putting up extremely high numbers with Success Club. And like, that's when I first really started to, as a newer coach, or last year when I was pushing for my goals, it was like, all right, who is this Megan chick? Because she is just killing it. So she actually got her team to elite this last year. She is 6-star diamond elite in her first business center. And then she is also 1-star diamond in her second CBC. So once you guys reach 2-star diamond, you get to open up a second U, basically like a second account. So she is a 1-star in that second CBC. She's number 49 in the company. So out of 300,000 plus coaches, her team is number 49. Okay. That's insane. She's a retired teacher. 2 months ago, she's been officially retired. So she put in her notice this spring. She's been retired. This is her first summer officially as a full-time coach. And she is only 28, you guys. She is also a dog mom. She's got a doodle, and I don't forget what the other one is. Anyway, she's a dog mom and she's a wife. And I am just so excited to hear from her. She's going to talk to us tonight about basically how she leveled up and, you know, working full time, and how she got her team to go for this goal of elite and how she did it and all of the things. So I'm going to stop my share, mute myself, and let you take it away.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Hey guys, how's it going? So I'm a teacher. So if you have questions, just like, you can totally unmute yourself or just throw it in the comments. But when Amy reached out, she actually reached out to me like in person, which scared the crap out of me because I am such an introvert. She was like, oh my God, hey. I was like, oh God, hey, like, how are you? So when she first talked to me, I probably was like, I hope I wasn't like super rude or anything. So I just get so nervous, and I'm like, hey, how are you? Awesome. Okay, I have to go. Like, I just get so nervous.
Can I say one thing on the cruise thing? Because, like, on the cruise, when you were, like, up there and you were talking to everybody, I like, couldn't tell if, like, you were just, like, get me off of this stage. You were like, all right.
I love that part. Like, it's, like, the one-on-one stuff that, like, just gives me the heebie-jeebies. So anyway, this is, like, my second month of being a retired teacher, so it feels wonderful. I'm sure it'll feel different in August and September when everyone's going back to school, and I get to hang out with my dog, so that's pretty awesome. But that being said, you heard all like the accolades and things like that. And yes, I worked my ass off to get there. I just want to show you or like talk to you and be real with you how I got there, because that's what's important. I think all the time we see coaches like their after picture, or we see them on top of the mountain, and it's like, girl, how did you get there? And we think it's so like, there's like this secret sauce. We think that like, if we do XYZ just like she did, we're going to get the exact same results. Well, that's not true, because everyone's journey is a little bit different. And so I just kind of want to share with you like how I went from where I was, and then like just basically how the heck we got to where we are now. So I know you guys know who Josh Coates is and stuff, but a lot of like what I'm going to talk about is sectioned into pieces that he has like embedded in my brain. And then I'm going to help you like organize that piece. So first things first, if you are like a newer coach, an emerald coach pushing for a diamond, and you're like worried about being a leader, you're worried about that leadership, you're worrying about, can I lead a team? Can I be the leader of the pack, or whatever it is, or when this happens, I'm a leader. When I reach this rank, I'm going to be a leader. No, you're a leader today. Like you're a leader right now. You're on the call. You're leading anybody behind you. For probably 6 to 8 months, I showed up in the business. I ran my own team calls with myself. I recorded them, and I was like, you know what? If people aren't going to show up, that's fine. I'm still going to be here. My coach had calls every Tuesday night. I did not miss one call for like 2.5 years. And I had anniversaries, I had deaths, I had a music concert at school. Like there's just so much stuff going on, but I never missed them because I wanted to be a leader. I wanted people to do the exact same thing that I was doing. And so if I was, I'll just read, I'd rather watch the Bachelor. And so, yeah, I've turned down like happy hours. I have, maybe came back early from a basketball game or something like that just to make things work. But I'm also sitting here right now, not having to stress about work tomorrow. So like knowing right now, even though like the light at the end of the tunnel is not like shining super bright, you are the person that decides how quickly and how fast and how much that like light comes into your tunnel, if that makes sense. So if you've ever heard Josh talk, he talks about 4 things. He talks about his modeling, his motivating, his mentor, and his multiplying. I've heard him say it like a million times, and I'll be honest, like the first like 6 times I was like, this still doesn't make any sense to me. Just tell me what to do. Like, I just want to be successful. Just tell me what to do. So I'm going to break down each one of them for you and then tell you like what I did with them to like turn it around and be successful with it. So the first one is modeling. And this is the one that us coaches actually like super suck at. We're coaches. We like to cheer people on, all this stuff. But the thing is, like, if you're not showing up, if you're not hitting Success Club, if you're not recruiting coaches, if you're not posting on social media, don't expect your coaches to do the exact same. You know what I mean? Like, don't expect them to do it unless you have like a rock star coach who doesn't care what you do. But that's like few and far between. So I taught my class the exact same thing. So I teach my coaches the same thing. I will never, ever, ever ask my coaches to do something I'm not willing to do myself. And so in the classroom, it was like, if I gave a quiz or if I gave homework, I did it myself. I wasn't just going to be like, hey, do page 7, 1 through 100. Like, I would never want to do that. So why would I make somebody else do that? So then turning it into coaching. And, like if you say like, well, my coaches aren't inviting. Well, are you inviting? How many people are you inviting? Well, I invited 3 people today, and then I forgot the day before that. And then I sent 15 the other day, though. It's the consistency over time that you're modeling to your coaches. And in any relationship and coaching and anything, and you guys have probably seen this with like your fitness and stuff, if you show up on social media consistently, you're building trust with people. The second you don't show up, the trust is gone. The same thing is with your coaches, and they're your family, so they're freaking pissed. So please just know that. So basically the modeling part for me, I took it as, what do I want? What do I want in someone else? So like if I was like, this girl's my rock star coach, what does she do? Like, what do I want her to do? And then I have to do that myself. So, obviously like hitting Success Club. I always, I think there's been 1 month. I always hit SC10 by like the 3rd or 4th of the month. The reason for that is I'm showing my coaches it's doable. I'm shortening the time, just to show them like, oh, you have 30 days. I just did it in 3. You can totally freaking do this. I leveled up myself. And so my coaches felt me leveling up. And then they always like fight to beat me on the Success Club board, which is awesome because that's more people that are being helped. And the same thing is like with your, your business tracker or something. Are you showing up? Are you showing them your tracker? Like you ask for their tracker. You're like, girl, are you sending your invites? Like, are you doing it? So just remember that even though you're their coach, you're still a coach yourself. And so modeling is huge, and that builds so much trust with your coaches. And so if you're telling yourself like, I can't hit Success Club by the 3rd, then your coaches aren't going to hit Success Club by the 30th. Like they're going to lead right behind you, but like they kind of want you to like whack down the weeds first, and then they're going to like sprint behind you. Like that's literally how it works. And so how do you do that? Personal development. And you guys know Amy's like rock star at it. Like do your personal development, have that mindset shift. Does it scare the crap out of me when my Success Club says 0 every month? Yeah. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do anything until I hit Success Club 10. Like my husband's like, you want to go out for dinner? I'm like, nope, can't do it. I got to hit Success Club first. I have to help my people first before I can like breathe and like have this, whatever. But that's just how I am mentality wise. Like I get it done. I eat the frog. I hit Success Club. And then I can like not breathe, but like focus on helping those people, focus on helping my coaches and pushing my numbers from there. And so I want coaches getting results with their fitness. I'm not saying they have to have a 6-pack. I'm not saying they have to be a size 2 because I'm definitely not. I want to see them working out, and I want to see them getting some sort of transformation. So whether that's them being happier and you can see it, whether it's them losing weight inches, feeling more confident, whatever it is, I want to see that in a coach. And so I need to be showing that myself. And so I always say that if your fitness is on, your business is on. If your fitness and nutrition is off, your business is off, and people can tell. And then it's like, I know it sucks sometimes when people like associate Beachbody coaches with being super positive and nothing makes them upset. But I always bring positivity. Like even if like my dog got hit by a car or something, like I would still come to the business and do my shit, and then I would leave and then go cry. Like I still show up and try to be that positivity for my team because it's contagious. Okay. So if you are always that person that's like, everyone says no, all this stuff, then your team kind of picks up on that. So I'm like, oh, girl said no, she's going to sign up with me next month. Like one of my girls literally just said that yesterday, and I started laughing. So I'm like, I just said that. So they pick up on what you're doing. So modeling is actually one of the most important pieces to this. And that's why it comes first. You come first. You have to model what you want from somebody. You guys heard probably about like the avatar. You can probably describe your dream coach. Like that's who you need to be and who you portray. And like what you give off, you guys, you seriously, like that's what you attract. Like if you are feeling like in a funk, your team feels like they're in a funk, right? Like that's just how it is. And so how can you, you know, take a spin and turn it? So I got home from Summit. I was feeling the exact same way. Our team is all going through coach training right now, refreshing, going through coach training. Everyone's pushing restart. We have lots of new coaches that are starting with us because we're doing it with them. And we're just trying to like recreate that January feel. So like you feel something's happening, try to figure out a way to like model and get it to go the way that you want it to. The second one is motivate. And this one is so funny because we're coaches and so we should be like super good at motivating people, but we super suck because we don't want somebody else to be like more successful than us. Like it sucks if like someone on your team or something is like SC 50 and you're at like 2, you're like, cool, I'm proud of you, girl, for real, but gosh dang it, like I'm only at 2. It's human nature. You're not a bad person, I swear. Like I do it too. I literally go on the dream board team and I'm like, sweet, this girl has 194 success club points, congrats, you're freaking amazing, I need to go get to work. Like that's just how my brain works. But motivating your coaches versus micromanaging your coaches. And this is something that I struggled with for a while. I was a 1-star coach for probably almost like way too long because I was micromanaging my coaches. I wasn't like trusting them to do the things because I wasn't really doing the things. I wasn't like trusting them to build because I wasn't really building, you know, so it all came from modeling. But make sure if something's working for you, like share it with your team. If your coaches succeed, like girl, you succeed. And that was something that kind of got lost along the way with some of my upline coaches. And I think that's where I got the bad taste in my mouth until I realized like, if my coach succeeds, like that's our freaking team, you know? So if girl is hitting like 50 SE points, like congrats, like that's our freaking team. We just helped 25 people. And so just like really understanding that like if something's working for you, share it to them, like share it to your coaches, share it to your team. I always like do screenshots of like conversations. So if someone has like an objection or if somebody, cause nobody wants the products. Everybody wants just the results. They want the workouts. They don't want Shakeology. They don't want performance line. Everybody hears the same thing. And so the girls are like, what do you say? I screenshot it and send it to them. And they were reading through it and they're like, oh, you use the word trust and I'm going to be there. And here's what I found. Like, the stuff that I say to people, like how I talk to them, the girls are like, I never even thought to say that. I'm like, I just talk to them, you know? And so I think sometimes you just overthink that part of it. So just sharing a little thing with your coaches is huge. Recognizing your coaches is probably the thing that changed my business because I started with November Team Cup. And I was like, I'm getting that freaking sweatshirt. So like I pushed as hard as I could. I will do some shit, like shady shit for a t-shirt, for a free t-shirt. But like, seriously, that's why Success Club points, that's why they do recognition because coaches work hard for that. That's why they do the photo ops. That's why they do the free workouts. That's why they do walking across stage. If they didn't care, if they didn't say like, elite team and have you walk across the stage and take your picture and make it this big thing and give you all these gifts and all this stuff, like would people really push as hard as they do? The bonuses, everything, like everything is part of recognition. So recognize your girls. It doesn't have to be, you know, Susie went diamond. It's no, Susie signed up one freaking person and she is half the way to emerald. And I'm so excited for her. Every morning I log in the back office and I see who signed people yesterday. And I'm like, Susie's on fire today, kicking ass, girl. I'm so proud of you. She's not even my coach, but I'm still going to shout her out because she's in my downline and it matters. So just always recognizing people. So you don't have working coaches. Cool. Recognize your challengers. I used to do like a challenger spotlight. I'd ask their permission. And then I would say like, give me a little bit of your story. Do you care if I share it or shout you out on the page or something like that? Or have them go live in your challenge groups or have a coach go live and share what's working. Just those things, like kind of like giving them the warm fuzzies is kind of like what I talk about. And then just making sure that your motivation is personalized. So I always send like voice messages to my girls. I have them in pods and I just send them like voice messages like, hey girls, hope your day is awesome. Today's focus is XYZ. You guys are awesome. I love you. Like send me a message when you get this done. Or if I reach out to like 5 coaches a day or something, or 5 challengers a day, sending just personal messages, you know, like, hey, Allie, thanks so much for showing up today. I hope you had a great workout. That means so much to people. So just understanding like the motivation part of it. The third part is mentoring. And this is actually where I'm at right now. And, you know, I've been coaching for almost 4 years, but I feel like mentoring for me was the hardest part because like, I can't lead a team. Like, I can't lead people. Like, I'm just a teacher. Like, I can't do that. I don't have the skills to do that. But what I learned was that there is no point in your business where you just go, oh, I'm a mentor now. You mentor along the way. So you guys know what Facebook pods are. I have my girls in Facebook pods, depending on their rank, depending on their goals. And that's where they ask questions. That's where they ask those FAQ number or like those kinds of questions. And the other coaches are answering those questions. They're mentoring. They're building like skills, leadership skills. So if you're in a pod and you're answering questions for somebody else, you're mentoring. And there's really no point in your business where you stop coaching, working the business, inviting, messaging, PD, all that, and switch to mentoring. Like it's all in one. So it all goes together. You modeling and motivating is you mentoring, if that makes sense. You can always build it up from there. You know, you can do one-on-ones, you can do a mastermind call with your team. The one thing that I struggled with mentoring is I wanted to mentor the people who didn't want it. I wanted to mentor the girl who was 4-4 but didn't want diamond. I wanted to mentor my best friend because, well, she's my best friend. I didn't like put my focus on the girl who was posting, messaging, inviting because she wasn't close enough to diamond, like that kind of thing. So I think sometimes we kind of get into that that realm, and I think that's okay because we're business people and that's what happens. But I think mentoring kind of humbles us and like makes us think back on the level that we should be. So we do team calls every other week, and then the opposite weeks we do like a newer coach call and then a leadership call. So they only have 1 call a week. I have 2, which is fine, or 3 sometimes, just depending on how it works. But basically, they get more one-on-one time with me. And if you have coaches on your team, if you ask them, they will pay money to spend time with you. Like they will literally be like, here's $5. I want to spend 50 minutes with you. Like they will do that. Don't give them 50 minutes, but like they want to spend time with you. And so sometimes if they hit Success Club, they get a free like one-on-one with me for like 20, 30 minutes. I get to call them on the phone for 15 minutes or something like that. And so mentoring my coaches, basically pushing them a little bit, being like that push coach for them, helping them build, always understanding that work with the working, not with the people you want to work, if that makes sense. And then that one-on-one time is huge. And then that leads to the last step, which is multiplying, which I feel like this just kind of takes care of itself. But you always want to make sure what you're doing is duplicatable to your team. So I talked about doing a newer coach call, a leadership call, a team call. Y'all can do that. Everybody can run their own calls. I talked about having a pod with where your coaches are at. You guys all can do that. Coach training, you can put them into a coach training. You can make up your own coach training. Like everybody can do those things. It's just, if you make it easier for your coaches to duplicate, then they like tend to multiply faster, if that makes sense. So, basically what I do and what I did when I was teaching is I didn't have time to scroll people's like Facebook feeds. I don't have time to watch Instagram stories. I follow some coaches, but I don't like follow them like creepily. But I always see like newer coaches always liking the pictures of like either top coaches or whatever. I'm like, girl, what are you doing? Like, you should not be doing that. That's not something you want your coaches. That's not how they multiply. They multiply by doing the things like modeling and motivating and that kind of thing. So just really understanding that the multiply step for me, I think takes care of itself. But have some sort of like system to kind of like get you going to that spot. So that's where I do those pods. So I have 4 of them. And they're all names of the ships from Disney, because that's kind of like our theme for the year. So like our first one is Wonder. That's like our newer baby coaches. They're going through like 7 days of coach prep school, and I just made it up. We call it like 7-day jumpstart now, but it's basically, I just took the 7 most important things from coaching, like what kind of coach you are, what success club, like just like important things that I feel like, I don't know, they need to know before they, like how to sign people up, where to get a list from, how to start posting on social media, like just like little baby things. Sorry. So like that is my Wonder Pod. And then once they're done with coach training, they move into the second one, which is our dream stage. And so basically what those coaches are doing is consistent posting, inviting, messaging, and getting to Emerald. Once they're Emerald, they get moved into the fantasy stage. And that is, you have to be an Emerald coach, working on consistency, posting, inviting, pushing for Diamond. And then our magic stage, like where the magic happens, is our stage 4. And that's where all of my diamonds are, and star diamonds. And if they drop, they move back. So that's something, that I had watermelon, and for some reason it gives me acid reflux. I don't know why. It's like hurting me. Anyway, but like once a coach drops a rank, they move backwards. And it's not, and they know it's not to like be like, oh, like shun them. It's literally to like light a fire. Like, girl, you just dropped. What are you going to do about it? We had a girl drop, and she signed somebody in 3 hours because she was like, I'm not freaking dropping my Emerald. So she like signed somebody and got moved. And like we celebrated her that day. And I think that's awesome to kind of like have standards for your coaches. I think that's okay, as long as you voice them with them. I have a graphic. It says all of the pods. It says all of the like standards they have to meet, basically active coach and Beachbody on demand. And then like certain pods have more qualifications and stuff too. But that's like my system. So I have 4 pods. I check those pods probably 2 to 3 times a day. And if my coaches know if they need to get a hold of me, they just tag me in it because I get like a weird notification. But they know if they message me like privately, I'm not going to get to it until I actually sit down and work my business, because I don't answer messages on the fly anymore. And if it's an emergency, they text me. So like communicating stuff with your team and talking to them about that. So those are my 4 like steps, not mine, I guess, or Josh's, but my revamped 4 steps. Having standards, having those pods, having separate calls in those groups is really like that wheel that we started. And I promise you, like, I think I went through, I think it was like 6 months. I was literally just like doing the things and showing up and modeling like crazy. And I'm like, yeah, my team, like all this stuff. I had like 2 people. I didn't care. Like I acted as if I had 20 people. And then like in 2 months, I had 20 people because I acted like that's what I wanted. That's what I was attracting. And so even though you're showing up and it doesn't seem like other people are, or maybe it doesn't seem like things are going for you, like the next day is like, I always tell myself, it's going to be tomorrow. It's going to be tomorrow. And I just kind of keep going with that part. And that is really the map that changed us from like that 1-star to 6-star and hitting elite in 4 months. And we locked it in for next year already. And so the girls have switched their focus to building as hard as they can versus like that push to, get your points and all that stuff. So last thing, I know Amy had talked, like a lot of you guys are either, Emerald coaches or like pushing for like that diamond or like looking in that vision of like getting to diamond and stuff and beyond. So diamond is not like the end all be all. So if you have a goal of diamond, and I always tell my coaches, like, that's awesome, but what next? So my coaches are actually pushing to hit diamond, but then also looking for their next them. Basically. I always say, go find another you. And I found 4 girls who are just like me, and they are my 4 that are moving to 2-star because they're just like me. Like I literally sifted through people and I was like, nope, you're not my girl. Like she's still a coach on her team, but she's not my girl. Like, when you have that coach, you're like, this is my like twin. Yeah. We call each other that. Like one of my girls, like we call each other a twin. Like that's how she is in my phone. So build to diamond, pushing yourself, finding those 12 people, finding a couple of best friends who want to do this with you, and then really asking and looking for like your twin, that other person. And it becomes contagious, and you keep adding new and new coaches. And like, that's when you end up with more and more of you. So diamond is not end all be all. It's like 2-star is a really good spot to look for. Because once you hit 2-star, you have the option of Premier, you have option of National Leadership Conference, you have an option of opening up another you, which is your twin. And so you can literally get, 2 of you in less than a couple of months if you hit 2-star and find your, rock star coach or something. So, yeah, those are probably like my 4 big bullet points and kind of like how we got to where we are. I did want to leave just some time just to have, if you guys have any questions or just want to pick my brain, totally go for it. I hope I didn't go too long. I don't know what time it is.
Oh no, it's perfect. It's only 8:30. Oh God, just hit my knee. I love this. So I was telling them, because I don't know if many of them know who Josh Coates is, but some of them I just know, like, you worked with him more one-on-one, right? Like,
yeah, I did last year. But the crazy thing is, he had nothing to do with, and I say this lightly, nothing. He had nothing to do with like us hitting elite and us pushing. It was the mindset shift, if that makes sense. So I think what he doesn't say like, Amy, go send 30 messages, and Amy, send this script. Like, he doesn't do any of that stuff. It's literally like, Amy, talk to me. Like, you've seen him unfold people. You've seen him get to those limiting beliefs or, that kind of thing. And that's what he did for us. And then now I'm just kind of like in his groups, just kind of in his push groups and stuff, just to get his energy, because it's contagious. And just understanding that, like, everything you need is online for free. Is literally out there for you, and you have everything you need to be successful. And then, like, once I realized that, like, that's when my team realized it too, if that makes sense. But
I had a question about the pods, because, like,
yeah.
I agree, like, we've been doing like messaging pods for a couple months now, and I love it. I love it, just like the vibe, the feeding off of each other, and like you said, like, people are messaging or answering each other's questions, which is awesome. But how do you so before you had like multiple diamonds or multiple tons of, like, to separate everybody, like,
Yeah.
how did you make that call, or like did you just do it and like then ran with it? Like,
yeah. So I actually, last year we hit elite, but I didn't have any leadership points last year, the entire year. 3 of my diamonds I built myself, and 2 of them hit diamond, held for 6 weeks, and then they were no longer on the team. So when I say, like, I was literally my team, like, I was literally my team. And so I just started with like newer coaches. So I started with 1 pod. They were my new coaches. Once they went through the coach training and felt comfortable pushing for Emerald, I put them in the next pod. So I had 2 pods. The first pod, like, I want to clear it out, if that makes sense, because you want them to go through coach training. Obviously, some of them are going to fall off, you guys. Like, if you have 20 people, like, 2 of them are probably going to do something. And I know that's really hard to hear, but it's true. And so, I really focus on trying to find maybe like 5 new coaches a month, because then 1, maybe 2 of them are going to be like your runners. You'll still have hobby coaches. You'll still have discount coaches. Maybe they're going to get amazing results and refer a friend. But normally, like, people like you are few and far between, because you're amazing. So we started with that pod, cleared it out, moved them to the next pod. Once they hit Emerald, I was like, okay, we need to step this up. So some of them were still in there, not Emerald. And then I moved them to like the Let's Hit Diamond pod, and just kind of like continued it from there. I do have standards though for all of my coaches and all of the pods. They have to be active, obviously. They have to have 90 PV going through their account on Home Direct, because then it counts for Success Club points. And then they get free leads if they have Beachbody on Demand. So I make sure they have those 2 things in the first 2 pods. Once they hit Emerald, they have to hold it to stay in that 3rd pod. Once they hit Diamond, they have to hold Diamond to stay in like that last pod, if that makes sense.
yeah, because like we've had this group, and like now I'm just thinking, like, because we do have these newer coaches coming in, like, how to duplicate it.
Yeah, I would not put them all, like, I used to have all my coaches in this giant pod, and then you have like those people who like are fun suckers, and I'm like, God, get out of here. Like, I love you, but get out. You cannot be on my team. You can't sit with us. And that was when I was was like, no, I need to like make this smaller. There's nothing more annoying than being put in a freaking thread with 400 people. Like, so annoying. So like having those 4 different pods with 3 people for you at first might be overwhelming. That's why I named them all the same. They all have the similar pictures. So then I just type stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. But basically with those pods, you know, I have them first of all labeled, and then I check in, like I try to do it all together in one, if that makes sense. So I go to one pod, the next pod, and then I have them for ranks and stuff, because I don't need to tell you how to work your business. I need to show you how to build leaders. I need to show brand new baby coach how to post on social media. So I was noticing that I was giving all this information, and these coaches were like freezing, because they were like, I don't even know what Success Club is yet, you know, and we were like talking about Success Club. But for duplicatable, what I've been doing right now, since I actually have working coaches, and I know it sounds crazy because like people think of like elite coach, they have it all together, they have all these working coaches, like literally it was just like this year, like last year I felt like it was me. But I have them, if they have a new baby coach, I tell them you can do one of 2 things. You can create your own pods, or you may add them into mine and I will add you in there, and you also help me with like what to say, answering questions, that kind of thing. It's kind of like that same thing with your challenge groups, like first time baby coach, run them with me. You know, second time you go run it with someone else on the team. That's kind of what my girls have done. So
Totally. Thank you for saying that about elite, because I who else? Katie Roser spoke on our team call, and she sold me like same thing. 3 of her diamonds on her 5-star elite were her, you know, her second business center, and then her controlled business center.
Yep.
So it's just nice to like hear that, because, you know, it makes it seem like more feasible. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like you gave me a lot. I feel like everything you're saying, I feel like we're doing a lot of it. But it's just nice to hear some of the things that like tweaking, like mostly like the pods, because I feel like the pods, what really like I feel like I struggled with was more like what you were saying about the recognition and mentoring. But what I feel like thrives everything is is like that one-on-one recognition and shouting out and building each other up, and just like really creating like more of a team culture. Because like, who wants to be a part of like a no fun team? Because I was definitely a micromanager, because I feel like, again, when you like, it's just you feel like your success is literally down to you. Like you need to go in, like, you know, it's almost like letting go of that control. But yeah, I don't know, I'm rambling. Does anyone have any questions?
You're fine. I was going to say with that too, you know, just with understanding that, obviously it's more fun to have people with you when you're successful. And I think that was that mindset shift that I needed to make. Cause I'm like that person that's like, can I get some help? Never mind. I will just do it myself, cause I want to know it's done. I want to know it's done right. Like those kinds of things. And, the second thing was like, not only just like understanding that, like, I wanted that community aspect, like you said, but, you know, just really not letting go of the reins, but like really letting go of like that micromanaging stuff and celebrating what I wanted. And then my coaches like, you know, react positively to that part of it. But I told my girls this summit, like, I felt like I was hanging out with my family all week. Last year, I did not feel like that. I had a couple girls who were like negative Nelly. And I was like, girl, you are raining on my parade right now. And this year we had double the numbers that we did last year, and I had way more fun. And I was actually like super anxious, because I was like, great, 11 people, I have to people please. This is not going to go well. Like, oh my gosh, like freaking out. And it was the best time ever, because that community aspect, and we shared like our vision together as a team. And so even as like a newer baby coach, if you're like, I'm shooting for a 2-star premiere at the end of the year, this is what it means for you and for our team. I think that's kind of big for newer coaches too, you know, just to share and cast that vision. So
Yeah, I think that's why, I think personally that's how I felt, like, you know, having that pod and like going to summit for sure, like letting everyone, like, kind of like taking the veil down and like showing people like, listen, like, this literally is not possible unless we do it together. You know what I mean? And like, and how just being really real about, just like you're doing right now, about how you get from A to B. You know, it's literally so doable. You know, it just comes down to just, you know, that consistency and the leaning in and just consistently leveling up. And yeah, so I don't know, does anybody, Leah, Allie, did you guys have any questions?
I have a question. So I was just talking to one of my coaches about like trying to, and Amy, I talked to you about this. I like have to do a new coach training because I don't have one, because I never had working coaches until like this month. And I feel overwhelmed because like I want to like help all of them. And I've been doing like one-on-one calls with everybody like last week and this week, but like I really want to do like some type of training. So like, how do you do yours? Like, do you use Facebook? Do you use like an app? Or like, I want to try and make it simple but effective.
So our like team motto is KISS, keep it simple, sister. So the one thing that like, okay, so working full time as a teacher, I literally did not have time to like sugarcoat crap and to like make everything pretty and all that stuff. So I literally sat down and I said to myself, okay, what 7 things are super important that I can cram into a week? And like, when you leave that group, you tell me that you're a successful coach. And so I didn't give, like, you can give them the back office and stuff. Like they're way better than what they were before. But I was like, I want them to go to some place that I can check in on them, that I can check in on their progress. And with units and stuff, it's like super simple. You can literally post and then add it to a unit. But basically what I did is I did like a welcome video, just like, hey, like drop below, tell us about yourself. Cause you know, not everyone knows everybody. And then let me click on mine. I'll actually tell you the pieces to it. So all of my videos are less than 5 minutes in each unit, because I was like, I would not want to listen to anything longer than 2 to 5 minutes. So like, it's super short. The first day is literally just walking through the back office. So I just showed them like my screen, like Zoom, and I just recorded it like you're recording right now. And I just opened up my back office, walked them through the tabs. So when I say the green My Business tab, they know what I'm talking about. When I say the orangish reddish challenge group tool, like they know what you're talking about. They know what Success Club is. They can check. I just kind of ran through that part for day 1. Cause like, it's kind of like when you start a new job, here's the printer, here's the bathroom, lunch is in this room, like that kind of thing. Day 2, I talk to them about different kinds of coaches, because when they come into my team, they're going to see the girl who doesn't ever post on social media, but she's getting this discount. They see the girl who signed up a couple people, but she's not always on team calls. And then she sees the girl who's on every team call, all that stuff. So just kind of talking to them about the different kinds of coaches, but encouraging them that even though today they feel like a discount coach, today they feel like a hobby coach, I feel like a hobby coach some days, like, you know, and I'm a lead team. So it's like just talking to them about that. And then I have them like drop below. I always have them do something. So it's like drop below this, or tell me this, or something, just interactive. The third one is like just talking to them about the legs in the business. I don't go too much into it except for the fact for Emerald. I take a notebook, I draw 2 like lines and 2 circles. I'm like, fill those babies up the exact same way you got started. And I was like, it doesn't matter that you have 6 people on your left and 2 on your right. I will help you as we go along. I like just think of it as a person. You have 2 legs. That's all you need to worry about. Because honestly, like even working now, you know, with diamonds and stuff, it's literally just like 4 and 4. Like that's all you need to worry about, girl. Like I'll take you from there. And they learn as they go. The 4th one is Success Club. And I talk to them about like helping people get started the way that they did, talking to them about the fitness bundle or challenge pack or whatever you guys call it. And that's where they get the points from. And it's kind of like, you know, when a kid takes a test at the end of the chapter, you want them to get an A or a B, because that means that they probably retained information. So hitting Success Club means that like as a coach, you're checking the boxes and you're doing the things that you need to do. The 5th one is finding your market. This is just like having them, who are you? Like, what do you love to do? What's weird about you? Like, if I see a girl wearing fuzzy socks, like she's on my team tomorrow. Like if I have a girl that's like 29 with Disney stuff, like she's on my team. So just looking for your people and your challengers and understanding who you're talking to. So like the girl I was talking to about, she has PCOS. She's going to start she goes, I really need to just get out there and talk about it because those are my people. And I was like, yeah, girl, of course they are. And then the 6th one is tracking their business. I use Teamzy and a notebook, old fashioned. But I just walk them through different options. I show them a notebook because it's super simple to start with. Just write down people who are interested, check back with them, move them to the next page, super simple. Sorry, my dog's playing with this toy. And then the 7th one is just getting started and just having them congrats, you got through this. Get up some sort of post. Don't you dare say the word beach body or coach, just share your journey. I'm on this new adventure, whatever it is. And it's the minute, the videos are literally 2 to 5 minutes. And then they have to go through those units and I'm like, don't talk to me until you're done with those, because once they go through that, that's when they earn your time. I used to do one-on-ones all the time. And a week later, the girl canceled and I was like, what the frick? I can't get those 30 minutes back. So I literally have them show up first. So I love that you are wanting them to be successful, but say, okay, guys, here's my coach training. You can get through it in 7 days. You can get through it in 7 hours, whatever. Message me, send me a text or whatever when you're finished, and we will talk about pushing your business forward. Once they do that, hopefully you'll have more than one. Because I noticed that let's say all of you guys are my new coaches, having you on a call like this is way easier to say it once than it is to say it 400 times. And that's why I do those different calls during the week, newer coaches, leadership kind of thing. So just make sure as newer coaches, I know you're super freaking excited. My best friend was a coach. I gave her all my time. She almost hit diamond and then she quit. So I literally was all eggs in one basket. Definitely did that. So don't do that. Have them earn your time first. Say, I love that you're, excited about this opportunity. Here's this. If you want to get started posting, she can post tomorrow if she wants to. She doesn't need your training, but at the same time, use it as a guide to go back, and use as well. But yeah, have them earn your time first, because that's valuable. And it's draining too. It's like teaching. It's draining. I mean, it's awesome, but it's draining. So yeah.
I know, it feels like such a bitchy thing to be all right, go through this and then we'll talk. But I know I've definitely struggled with finding that.
But the thing is, you're going to answer so many questions that are already in the training. You're going to a share cart, that's in there for Success Club. How do you hit Success Club? Well, you have to send a share cart. Obviously show them a video. This is how you send it. Once they do it once, you guys, they don't need you, and it was hard too. If they're super excited, help them craft a post and then be get through that coach training as fast as you can. Because honestly, in any business, in any job that you get, you have a prep week anyways. Teaching, you have student teaching. You have orientation, you have things. Nobody can just start a business tomorrow with no help or anything and be extremely successful right away. So just having them put in the work and stuff too. And then that kind of builds that trust there too. Cause it's I asked them to do this, they did that. And so now I'm giving them back time. So they're understanding they have to work to earn it.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Cause I had a new coach training on Facebook. It was just again, trying to keep it under a specific timeline. It just was not working. So I kind of shot that to hell, went back to all right, here are all my videos, get through these, then let me know when you get through them. Cause I have it all on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, but everything you're saying though, keeping it short and sweet and simple, and having it literally be boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
That's something, you can have and create in a Facebook group and literally empty people out, put people in when they're done with it, they let you know. And it just exists and you can just keep putting people into it.
Yeah. I have videos from last July and the girls were is this the right thing? I'm absolutely. This is all of our team. And it's good to see other people doing it. So I don't actually go through and I used to go through and get rid of all of their, comments and stuff. So it looks new. And then I was well, why am I doing that? They want to see people doing it. So, I just left them in there, but the units is awesome because they have to go through one before they get to the next one. And I can see if they went through them. So it's girl, you did not go through there. or I can refer them back, you know, to that, which is awesome. And that's duplicatable. It's open to my downline. It's not just me. So I'm like, if you have a new coach, put them in there. Don't mess with it. So like if you get one set up, if you have the videos, give the videos to your coaches and be like, girls, just send them these videos. You know, like I was dumb enough and I did them live in the Facebook page. I need to figure out how to like save it and put it on YouTube. But like, that's literally what I would do, is give my coaches like a PDF, day 1 video, day 2 video. Like, doesn't have to be. Mel used to do that university training. It was like 30 days. I was like, girl, I am so freaking bored and I want to work through this in like 2 seconds. I did not like it. So that's why I did my own.
Oh my God.
And I'm not saying to recreate the wheel or anything, but that's just how I work. Like, it's just, I don't have 300 days to go through stuff, especially if they're excited. And then you're like, here's 30 days of training.
Right? I know. Yeah, I know. Because everyone's at a different pace.
Yeah.
Man, oh man, I just want to like go do it right now. I want to go like. Does anybody else have any questions for Megan? No. All right. Well, I'm so pumped. Thank you so much. This was awesome. Like, I feel like we're all pretty fired up. I mean, maybe they're not. You can't
Hopefully I got rid of your post summit. Oh my God. Too bad Leah's on your team, because she totally would be on my team.
I know, right?
And Allie has a headband on, so we're sold.
She's,
it's crazy.
Leah's already said that she wants to do a Disney retreat. Like,
That's like, I'm not even kidding. We did a retreat in Colorado like last year, and the girls